Firstly, we're going to analyse the athlete's sticking point in the squat, which was found to be right at the beginning of the concentric phase, right at the bottom of the squat itself. So as you can see, the athlete didn't necessarily lose any position per se, but simply didn't have the muscular strength to overcome the force requirements of that specific phase of the range of motion.
It's all good.
Another technical inefficiency observed in the squat was the athlete simply struggling to achieve proper depth. Through conversation with the athlete, it became clear that this was a psychological response to the increased challenge associated with greater depths. But obviously, given the requirement of the competition itself, it was something that had to be trained and something that had to be overcome psychologically and physiologically. Finally, the athlete had a habit of losing tightness on the descent of the squat, forcing her onto her toes and putting her in a disadvantageous position. This was mostly caused by a lack of control on the descent and an inability to stay over the middle of her foot. Now for the bench press, I was unable to identify any part of the range of motion that was specifically weak, as all competition lifts were executed exceptionally well. However, there seemed to be a general lack of shoulder stability when handling heavy weights in training, which often manifested in negative deviations to bar path and misgrooved repetitions, as you can see on the last rep of this set here. So from observing the athlete's deadlift attempts at maximal weights, it became clear that her sticking point existed just after breaking the bar off the floor up towards the knee. Now once the athlete was able to overcome this sticking point, the barbell velocity significantly increased towards lockout, and this was mostly due to the fact that there was no real spinal breakdown or any flexion of any kind.